We tell stories at Milwaukee PBS. Here's one you may have missed.
We're in Ripon, Wisconsin. There are two things I knew about Ripon before we got here. First one, Ripon College. Second thing, the best, Ripon good cookies. Guess what? There are no more cookies, but Ripon College is still here. So John Gurda said, meet me at Ripon. Hey, John.
Hey, John, how are you?
Ripon College right here.
We're there.
Yeah, nice. So where exactly are we?
We're in College Hill.
We're on College Hill.
Just
Very
above
good.
downtown Ripon. And near two really important landmarks from the early years. The first is the first Ripon College building, goes back to 1851. And near us is First Congregational Church. That building goes back to 1868, but the congregation goes back to 1853. So they both played really important roles in a very unusual history. Ripon was founded by some high-minded Yankees who had ideas that were way ahead of their time.
How so?
For starters, they began a socialist commune as their first project. Back in 1844, before Wisconsin was even a state, a group of Yankees bought land in the valley just west of here and began a settlement called Ceresco, after the Roman goddess of agriculture. They were followers of Charles Fourier, who was the utopian socialist from France. And they had about 200 people here who lived together, ate together, sang together, and farmed together for about 6 years. In the end, that was just a little too much togetherness.
Yeah.
So they disbanded back in 1850. And today, Ceresco survives only as the name of a small park here on the west side.
So that's what happened on the west side? What happened on the east side?
Something quite different. Back in 1849, when Ceresco was kind of falling apart, another group of Yankees began a competing settlement on this side and named it Ripon for an English town where one of the founders had roots. And it began as a very typical kind of a mill and dam town, but they also believed in education. So in 1850, when there were just 14 buildings in the entire town, they decided to found a college. It became Ripon College. And it certainly was part of the Congregationalists early on who built their building next door here back in 1853. Today it's independent and one of the best liberal arts colleges in the entire Midwest.
What else did they do?
They were also, those Yankees, they were devout abolitionists who had a real hatred for slavery. In 1854, they had a protest meeting in the First Congregational Church across the street here against a bill that would have allowed slavery to be extended in new territories. So they had that first meeting here, and then a few weeks later had an organizational meeting down in a little schoolhouse, what's now downtown. The result was the Republican Party. So here at Little Ripon, Wisconsin, founded a commune, a college, and a party in all those years before 1860, so unique.
And how do you follow that act? Then what happens?
They settled down. After 1860, they kind of settled down to become a college town and kind of a small-scale industrial center. Germans outnumbered the Yankees eventually. You had 4 rail lines coming in, so that attracted industries. And Ripon was known nationally for making everything from, as you say, Ripon Good cookies to Speed Queen washing machines.
And what makes Ripon tick today?
Some of the same things. Industry's still here, but it's also kind of a bedroom town for workers from Oshkosh and Fond du Lac. Still very much a college town, and you have in the downtown area one of the best preserved Victorian downtowns in the entire state. They've done a nice job of preservation here.
Looks good, doesn't it?
It does, yep.
Yeah, a population?
About 7,700, and still more than half German.
And do we have boundaries?
The city's about 5 square miles, about 20 miles west of Fond du Lac in east central Wisconsin.
It's a nice little town.
It really is.
Even if Ripon Good Cookies is not here.
Bring your own.
That's what you have to do. Thanks, because I'll have to go look for another kind of snack as you bike. Thanks, John.
See ya.
Watch Around the Corner with John McGivern on Milwaukee PBS and watch online at milwaukeepbs.org.